We're here in one of the stores of the University of Reading Special Collections and Museum of English Rural Life.
I'm Adam Lyons, Collections Academic Liaison Officer.
And I'm Claire Clough, Special Collections Librarian.
And in the period of just 2 minutes, we're going to try and show you as many treasures that we hold as possible.
And here we have a draft manuscript of Thomas Hardy's poem We Field Women, which was published in 1928, and you can see here it's in his own handwriting with his own annotations.
If you're a scholar of Beckett, there's nowhere better to be in the world. We have the largest collection of original manuscripts here, including works such as Horoscope.
So this book was published in 1633, and it is poetry, and it's a book of poems by J.D. or the well-known English poet John Donne.
Famous the world over, our British publishing and printing archives contain such publishing houses as Chatto, Longmans and Hogarth Press. So if you're interested to trace a book from its conception right the way through to its publication, you can find no better place than here. One example of a 20th century publishing house is Mills and Boon, and here in the archive you can really get to grips with how a book comes to life through editorial correspondence and scripts. Additionally, we have hundreds of file copies of original Mills and Boon's publications in our rare books collection, including the first ever Mills and Boon publication, Arrows in the Dark, which is signed by Mills and Boon themselves.
Jane Eyre, written by Charlotte Bronte, here presented under her pen name Currer Bell.
You may have read the works of Dickens, but have you ever encountered them in their original form? Here, 2 sets, Dombey and Son, Little Dorrit, as they were originally published and consumed by the Victorian public.
Children's literature is one of our strengths here at Reading, and this is a real first from our children's collection. This is published in 1755 and it's thought to be the first picture book for children. As well as all the books in our Museum of English Rural Life library on agriculture and farming, we also have books on this subject in our children's collection. This has Come to the Farm from the 1930s. It's part of Tuck's Better Little Book series, and it's designed to educate children about what they might see on a farm.
The Wizard of Oz is one of the most popular children's books of all time. We don't just have one edition here, we have over 200.
One of the strengths of our rare books holdings are our holdings of Victorian literature. For example, we have a rare edition here of Oscar Wilde's Salome with illustrations by Aubrey Beardsley.
Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, first published in 1719, one of the first English language novels ever published, and we have hundreds of editions throughout the centuries here in our collections.
Now a book of poetry from the 16th century, and this one is actually for farmers. It was thought that writing in verse would make the agricultural advice easier to remember. Now we've seen several items from our children's collection of over 6,000 books for children from the 17th to the 20th centuries, and we also have a Ladybird book collection, but this is a real treat. So this little box here is called the Children's Bookcase of Knowledge. It's from 1803, and inside this very delicate little case we have 10 little miniature books inside for children. They are all educational on topics such as maths and English.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
With so many fascinating collections at your fingertips,
It just begs the question, what will you discover?